British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Hello, and welcome to your morning cast to 10:30. My name is Grace Chen. Here is what is making news this morning. The days are gradually counting down for Air Canada's contract talks. There could be a full stoppage as early as next Wednesday as negotiations with the union representing its pilots remain far apart. Air Canada says the union has made excessive wage demands, while the union says corporate greed is holding up the talks. The head of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce and other businesses say the government should be ready to intervene. They call for binding arbitration.
And we know that the Government of Canada has the mechanism in which to do that. And we're simply asking them to prepare to do that in the event that an agreement cannot be reached, which we all believe is best done at the negotiating table. But we cannot allow for even a single day of a strike, given the consequences on our already very fragile economy. It would amount to government playing Russian roulette with our economy, and we just can't afford that at this time.
The Canada Bread Company is accusing Maple Leaf Foods for using it as a shield to avoid liability in the alleged bread price fixing scheme. This accusation is the subject of 2 class action lawsuits and an ongoing Competition Bureau investigation.
In filings in an Ontario court as a part of one of the class actions, Canada Bread alleges Maple Leaf broke the law and breached its management agreements. Maple Leaf was controlling shareholder of Canada Bread up until Grupo Bimbo bought the company in 2014. Canada Bread is so far the only company to be fined by the Competition Bureau in relation to the alleged scheme, taking a $50 million hit in 2023. John Kennedy, The Canadian Press.
The U.S. Postal Service's new delivery vehicles are getting major upgrades. However, people say they will not win any beauty contests. As fires ablaze throughout the Amazon rainforest, reporter Jacob Fraser explains how those living in the wetter regions are less affected.
The Amazon rainforest has seen a record-breaking blaze in 2024 due to crime and climate change. These fires have already consumed 9% of the world's largest wetland areas. However, local farmer Craig Schutten explains his farmland in Brazil has remained unaffected.
Currently in Brazil, none of the fires have affected us, but do understand that it has affected a lot of people, also knowing that the country is quite large. All of our workers are local to our farms, so none of our workers have been affected.
Schutten says his farmland has had smoke roll-ins similar to what British Columbians may see in the Lower Mainland, though they have been fortunate that his land has remained untouched by fire. Jacob Fraser, BCIT's The Crow.
Los Angeles is hit with a 4.7 magnitude earthquake. It unleashed boulders onto Malibu Road and shook Santa Monica's pier, according to reports from the U.S. Geological Survey. No injuries or damages are reported as of now.
It was a quake centered near Malibu, was mainly felt on the west side of L.A., and many in L.A. say they didn't feel a thing, but earthquake warnings went off all around Southern California, warning that at the time a 5.0 magnitude was coming and to take cover immediately. It came right as kids were getting ready to head out to school.
Ukraine is facing a severe winter health crisis. 3 Red Cross staff members have been killed in eastern Ukraine by artillery strikes. The World Health Organization issued a warning as it faces a 3rd winter of war ever since Russia's full-scale invasion. Millions of citizens are vulnerable as temperatures drop and there is severe damage to energy and health facilities. Tech billionaire Jared Isaacman and his crew completed the first ever private spacewalk high above Earth. Sound from the spacewalk is heard.
Dragon SpaceX vent complete. EV-1 return to seat.
Then EV-1 copies. Transitioning back under the display.
Moving on to weather, this morning in Vancouver it is cloudy and 15 degrees Celsius. It will be clearing up later today. That is all for your morning news to 10:30. I'm Grace Chen from BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.